Welcome back to Leper's Smile after we lost a lot of troops. I have no idea what implications that has for the continuation of the story. Bloods. Yes, whether wounded half. Wait. There's no trace of him? Or his footprints? Like he vanished. Where's the halfling? Or maybe that was a god who wanted to test us if we would help a man in need.
Godspeed.
I have no idea at this point.
Let us press on.
The slime on the wall of the canyon emits a sweet smell with a sharp hint of freshness, like the air before a storm. The insects are swarming over part of the wall. I mean, that's not true anymore, they are gone. The game doesn't know that. Acid has ruined the caravanner's gear. I'm just going to see if there's anything worthwhile here left on the map after we defeated the big queen bug.
That is quite a discovery.
Judging by the marks that his nails left in the soft sandstone, this man was still alive when the swarm began to eat him. What? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, man. That was a terrible death. Silver ring.
I stand ready.
Acid has ruined the caravanner's gear. Ah, okay. Acid, yes, okay, more acid. That's not interesting. Remains of the caravan camp. The Vescovals have chewed up not only the bodies, but also the tents and the bundles of goods. What's that? Acid. Okay.
I will guide us.
Alrighty, so we're done here. We can just
Godspeed.
end this and continue it. You know what? Usually I'm giving... Oh dear. I'm giving the AI control over the units, but right now I don't want to because the AI is stupid and useless. So we're going to stay behind with our soldiers and shoot at the enemies until they're, well, with us. Cultists protected their caravan of valuable supplies to the death, but the Crusaders prevailed. It seems that the demon worshippers plundered the treasures from nearby Sarkoris ruins. Alrighty, oh, we can go right side. I guess we can attack that bastion. I've no idea what that means. Where's the differentiation between? I mean, this is some sort of standing army and this is some sort of bastion, but what's the real world difference? Why does that matter? Buy resources. I mean, the game doesn't tell me. And group manager, skip time. Oh no, more movement points. Okay, so let's skip a day. And now let's attack this army. That's quite interesting incubi. Of course, you all know succubi. That's a female version, but of course there are also male versions of seducing humans. But most genres, most media kind of forget about them. $72! Are you freaking kidding me? What the heck? He's not. How can he allowed to? What? Fuck? Why can he obliterate 70 archers every round? What the heck? I'm definitely not prepared to do. What the? Zero gem. You know what? When was the last save? I mean, this is beyond ridiculous. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what the? Okay. So obviously there are enemy armies where we stand exactly zero chance. I mean, this enemy general can just throw fireball every round, obliterating 70 archers per round. What the? Where's our enemy army? Yeah, I didn't plan on fighting them with our main army. What the? 4 Minotaurs? What is this? Why has the game suddenly turned ridiculously difficult?
Be gone, fiend! Do not hold back. You are nothing before me.
Let us press on.
So we're definitely not going to attack this ridiculously difficult army. I mean, what the heck? I mean, the enemy general is beyond ridiculous. He's omnipotent. Okay, so go forward. Of course, we need to still destroy that singular enemy army that we easily crushed. But we're not going to dive into that one. I mean, what the heck? Certainly not prepared for that. Wait, we have lay on hand others. I didn't notice that one. Interesting. Smite evil. Okay. I mean, that was very easy, so we have to take very great care. Prevail, yes, yes. Apparently there are some demons that are ridiculously powerful, like a general that can throw fireball every round. Holy Obviously we can't take ranged units in that fight, we need to take strong melee fighters. Still, what the heck did just happen? Of course we're going for inconspicuous camp. Since not far from one of the canyon walls in the world wound among the forests. An inconspicuous camp is hidden, well protected from the prying eyes of both demons and crusaders alike. You can only find it if you know exactly where to look. Yes. Who's that? Krinok. Okay. Elven notes. Oh, more elven notes. That's good. So we can talk to our scroll scriber dude. Our storyteller dude. Krinok, the aged kobold, sitting by a small campfire, greets you with an amicable gesture. He doesn't reach for his weapon or hiss threateningly. Shouldn't it say, or hisses threateningly? All in all, his behavior is highly unusual for one of his kind. His clothes look quite unusual too. Not many kobolds opt for human clothing, nor do they adorn their possessions with spikes or scales. Greetings! My name is Kuninok. I'm all alone here, so you may safely come closer. He speaks smoothly, without the usual kobold hissing. Moving slightly aside, the kobold points to the carcass of a small animal on a stick roasting over the fire. Dinner will be ready soon. What? I've never met a talking lizard before. Well, back in the River City we had a real dragon. Are you a dragon too? Can you turn big? You flatter me, young lady. Many of my fellows would give up everything to become dragons. Some even entertain themselves with fantasies of already being such, but I'm proud to be what I am. A kobold. Nothing more, nothing less. Who are you? As I've already mentioned, my name is Kuninok, at your service. The kobold offers a short bow, an unusual gesture for one of his kind to make. As a rule, kobolds do not express their respect to anyone other than dragons. I am a traveler and a friend of the crusade. I can be your friend too, if you are tolerant toward kobolds. Kuninok utters the word tolerant with shocking ease, as if he is something other than the narrow-minded and savage subterranean beast you expect him to be. Kobolds are infamous for worshipping dragons and despising all other races, and few of them would even understand the concept of tolerance, let alone subscribe to it. Wait, what did you just say? Tolerant? Are you sure you're a kobold? Ah, so you saw through my disguise. König tried to mislead you with sweet words and then ambush you. The kobold utters a loud hiss, which then morphs into an amused chuckle. Of course I'm a kobold. Trust me, you're not the first to be shocked after hearing me speak and realizing that I'm not going to rob or kill you. I'm lucky. If representatives of other races want to be seen as intellectuals or decent conversationalists, they have to read a lot of books, refine their manners, and possess a passing knowledge of classical theatre, and douse themselves in fine perfume. Whereas in my case, all I have to do is not lunge at you with a spear, or hiss every other word. Was it you who left me that note? The kobold shrugs. Of course, who else could it be? I wanted to make sure you were interested in the information I can provide. Not at the bonfire. What are you cooking? Judging by its ears and hind legs, it's a hare. The kobold casts a dubious glance at the animal's mouth, which boasts a set of huge teeth. Or maybe it's a tiger. Depends on your point of view, I suppose. Please don't try to be cute, Kobold. It doesn't suit you. Ah, you ninny. I'm as charming as they come. May I ask, what do you want from me? It's not every day that I meet a civilized kobold. I want nothing from you. I'm asking for nothing. I'm simply offering help. This is a one-way street. I sympathize with your cause, so I would like to provide whatever support I can from time to time. Does that work for you? The kobold stops and looks at you expectantly. How exactly can you help me? With advice, mostly. Throughout my life I've seen a lot, and a piece of timely advice can be extremely valuable, don't you agree? Of course, if your advisor is a kobold, the merits are not so obvious, but you're in luck. This kobold, right here, right in front of your own nose, has extensive knowledge of a variety of matters that you may find useful someday. After some thought, he nods toward the campfire. One more thing I have to offer is this hair, after it's cooked, of course. And we're not savages, we're not eating raw meat. The Mettbrötchen gang wants to know your location. How do you know so much about demons? Ah, Koch gives you a long and heavy look. I've had some experiences with them. I don't want to go into the details right now. All I'm saying is that after a rather short and not even hostile encounter with them, I stopped eating meat for several years. What's the catch? Ah, no catch. I'm acting for wholly altruistic reasons, but my motives are something I would rather not reveal. Krynuch turns his face to you and his wrinkles become more visible in the glow of the fire. We just met 5 minutes ago. Don't you think it's too early to expect complete candor just yet? As I already have told you, I am a friend of the crusade. You can choose to trust me or you can leave. I offer help and ask for nothing in return. Not even a single coin, nothing, not even a smile. You can look at me all day long angrily. It's okay. So the question is very simple. Will you accept the claw of friendship from a stranger, or is your distrust stronger than your need for help? Well, good sir, I would like to give you a chance. I mean, right next to you is my mini dragon, and he seems to be okay with you, so whatever goes. We would appreciate any help. Krynuch nods agreeable. Then we have a deal. You won't regret your decision. Now your soul is mine. What? Just drop by my camp every now and then so we can have a word. Perhaps I'll be able to give you some useful tips. Pulling out a small knife, the traveler cuts out your... Carefully cuts off 2 strips of meat from the roasted hare. He throws one to his toothy maw, graciously offering the other to you. A strange animal for sure, but it seems edible. The energies of the world won't mask everything an illusion. Harmless-looking animals try to eat you for dinner. Dangerous paths appear to be straight roads, and sometimes your enemies can look like your friends. Krynuch squints and looks deeply into your eyes. Have you ever been in a situation like this? First, you think a person is your friend and ally, but then the scales fall from your eyes and you realize they are actually your sworn enemy. So, you catch this person, you tie them up, and then you start thinking, how should you treat them? Like your enemy? Like your former friend? It's hard to decide. What would you do if one of your friends turned out to be a traitor? Is this a god? I mean, obviously we have a traitor in our midst. Someone planted this object, this handkerchief, in our bag. So he's obviously referring to the future. Those who have lost their way must be saved. We need to help them return to the path of righteousness. Did some cleric tell you that? And have you ever seen one of those who return to the path of righteousness? Stop listening to others and use your head. We're not talking about children here. The decision to collaborate with demons is a little different from yanking on the family cat's tail. To make such a decision, a person would have to be a truly vile scumbag, or just where do you people get this beautiful naivety from? Something in Krinuch's voice sounds merciless, like cold steel. If you catch a traitor, grab them and shake them until they spill everything they know. Some need to be tortured, others will crack if you threaten their family or bribe them with promises of mercy and gold. Wring the traitor dry like a rag mop, and to think about war, not about ethics. At least that's what smart people write in books. The fervor fades from the kobold's voice, but subtle glints still flicker in his eyes. I guess you're right. What matters most is doing what's best for the cause. The kobold shakes his head, pretending not to care. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I was just sharing my opinion. Then again, if we are discussing traitors, it's fortunate that betrayal is not reserved for mortals alone. Demons stab each other in the back far more frequently. The rumor is that there are at least 2 demon stashes within Dresden, filled with arms and supplies that were stolen by Descarites from Baphomites and vice versa. One of them is near the entrance of the fortress, while another one lies by the entrance to the citadel. Well, that is valuable information. Of course it is, I wouldn't waste your time. Cracking his knuckles, Krinuch gives you an inquisitive look. I hope that when the time comes for you to make real decisions instead of hypothetical ones, your wisdom won't fail you. Just one bad choice can turn a revered leader into a disgraced pariah. I've seen it happen before. I lived through something like that. My tribe suffered a disaster caused by just one bad choice. Can you even imagine? Kobold squints sadly, his shoulders slumping a bit. With a sigh, he begins to talk. I don't like telling this story, but it might be useful for you to know. Perhaps it will serve you as a warning. Will you tell me? Krinuch clears his throat, starts talking in a sonorous voice that reveals his experience as a bard. I was born into the mighty and proud tribe of the Night Ruby. Our caves were vast. Our mine shafts were rich in quartz and metals, and our underground lakes were brimming with fish. The Arkan stone sat on a pedestal. In union we lived with the dwarfs of the... What? No. Wrong universe. And of course, we had plenty of slaves. Yes, that's the right universe. Now that I've come to think about, has Tolkien ever written about slaves? Did he even dive into the topic? Did orcs have human slaves for work? Oh, that's interesting. I mean, something that was very odd when I played Anno 1800, and we played basically Europe, expanding and building giant cities, industrialization. For some odd reason, the makers of Anno 1800 decided not to deal with the topic of slavery at all. It wasn't even mentioned, not even as they didn't have to make them slaves. They could have just said servants, but no, they completely ignored that entire history period, even though it's historically very significant. I mean, still today, especially in the United States of America, the descendants of the previous slaves that the Europeans brought with them to the United States of America, they still face problems, and there's still racism, discrimination, and I'm not sure if Ubisoft really did a good job ignoring the topic. I mean, you don't have to heroify something that you don't like, and then you could have just slightly dealt with the topic, say that was how it was, and then, for example, I would have made a campaign about there were slaves, and then you had the chance to free them, and some of them would have chosen to work for you then, for example. So you don't need to depict slaves as workers in a game, but you should have not ignored that very important topic. We should not ignore our history as a species. We need to learn from our history, and learning cannot work if you simply ignore something and be like, that one never happened. That's exactly what Putin is doing. He's ignoring history. And then he's less like, this is now the truth, this is my truth. And that is how evil was born. Never forget history. You work with it, live with it. If it's very far away and it has little importance for the country everyday life, you can downgrade its significance and importance if it has little impact on today's life, again. But do not forget it. And do not ignore it. That ignorance act is spitting the people in the face that brutally were murdered and died and worked themselves to death. And that is unworthy. Okay, enough of that one. The Night Ruby was a model of Kobold's success. It was a tight-knit, greedy and aggressive tribe that intimidated even a few of the nearby human settlements. But there was a flaw in its design, underlying our power. Once, very long ago, like 16 eons ago, a leader of our tribe signed a pact with devils, promising them the soul of every tribe member in exchange for help and prosperity. Since then, every new All-Watcher had to agree to the pact, and the power of the tribe grew, as did the number of lost souls. It was like that until our leader, Urmach, came to power. She was a principled and proud elder who didn't want to bend the knee to hell, so she refused to sign the pact, and all kinds of calamities befell our tribe. The tribe was attacked by its neighbors at the devil's instigation. Epidemics broke out, then our slaves rebelled. They came after their former masters in the dead of night. Our clutches of eggs were ravaged, our altars were desecrated, and our warriors were slain in their burrows. The slaves paid us in full for our cruelty and arrogance. They hunted us, chasing us down through the caves and mine shafts, level by level. When we were finally left alone, we had no idea where we were. All we saw around us was darkness, and lurking in that darkness were bloodthirsty and dangerous predators. After raising his voice dramatically, Hrinuch suddenly stops. Then he adds with a teasing smile, I think this moment is enough for a cliffhanger to stop here. I've got suspicions about you. Here we go. I come in friendship, and right away I'm distrusted. So what is it that got you worried? Well, your words are full of mysterious omissions. Ah, what can I say? I'm a kobold of many secrets and contradictions. I keep my mouth shut and the rest of the world at arm's length. That's just my nature, I can't help it. I'd like to know more about you. I don't want to be the first kobold in history to be executed for crimes I didn't commit. Oh, that one went deep. I'd like to know more about you. I'm flattered, but what's so special about me? I've never accomplished any feats on the battlefield, I don't know any special crafts, and I don't even belong to an exotic species. I don't have the slightest idea what you find so interesting about me. What do you do? I'm a traveling bard, and I can already foresee your next question. How does a bard, who also happens to be a kobold, manage to earn a living? All the civilized races of Avestan know that when you encounter a kobold, the best course of action is to smash its skull, trample it with a horse, then burn the remains just in case. Well, the prejudice that civilized peoples have regarding my kind is quite understandable. Our infamy as robbers and murderers is more than deserved, so just imagine the spectacle in every tavern when an articulate kobold in decent clothes shows up, offering to share a story or two for a few coins and a mug of ale. I assure you, no matter how big of a deal you are here, if we drop by any tavern in Andorran, all eyes will be on me. I am an exotic oddity. Why did you decide to come here, at all places, to the World Wound? I just don't like it when the residents of the lower planes get involved in the lives of mortals. I firmly believe that we don't need any advisors to help us handle our own affairs, and we need overlords even less. That's very considerate of you. You're different from other kobolds. Oh no, Captain Obvious has returned. Goodness gracious.
So, you were suspecting this stupid kobold to praise dragons and boast about his exploits?
Hrinuch grins mischievously. My life has given me many opportunities to communicate with beings from other races, so I found a common language with them. Because I'm starting to run out of answers, okay. I have a question about demons. You mentioned you know a lot about them. Oh, my humble knowledge is at your disposal. What is the demon's main weakness? Love. What? Is the fact that they are hostages to their own nature, and by their nature, demons are just a bunch of mad apes, a grotesque parody of ordinary chaos. You don't need to make a bunch of apes angry. You just give one of them a banana and arm the other with a stick. They'll kill each other without your direct intervention. Okay, he's a god. That's godhood confirmed. That's the mad apes theory. You just give one of them a banana and arm the other with a stick. What the? Okay. How do you know so much about demons? Krino gives you a long and heavy look right in the eyes. I've had some experiences with them. I don't want to go into the details right now. All I'm saying is that after a rather short and not even hostile encounter with them, I stopped eating meat for several years. Yeah, we've heard that one before. Do you know anything about wounds inflicted by demons that first appear, then disappear, and later reappear again? Do I need to resort to platitudes such as, the weirdest tricks can be expected from demons, or can I just skip that part? I've never heard anything like you're describing, but new sorts of nasty stuff appear in the world wound every day. However, if we think about it some more, don't you think that this wound doesn't cause enough trouble to be something the demons did to you on purpose? When you are hit by the magic of the abyss, you know instantly that death is coming your way and fast. Well, everything is clear to me now. That's a very bold statement. Well, I know that I know nothing. You see, we humans, I know that I do not know the 0.0000006,000 more 0.1% knowledge that I know about. And that knowledge is 0.00050 trillion zeros, 0.1% of the actual knowledge out there. Always keep that in mind. You are only aware of a very insignificant portion of knowledge, and from that insignificant portion of knowledge that is gathered here on Earth, that is insignificant compared to the knowledge out there that we don't even know about. So you know very little about the part of knowledge you know about, and you know nothing about the knowledge you don't even know exists. So, in the end, you know nothing. No, my name is not Jon Snow. I'd like to hear the story of your travels. Oh, it's a long one. Which part would you like to know? Tell me about your tribe. We heard that one before. Okay. Have you heard about my unusual powers? I've heard you're either extremely lucky or quite the opposite. You survived the massacre in Kinablis just to spearhead a new suicide mission. On the other hand, you survived then, and most likely you will survive now. Good luck in this noble endeavor. I have to go. Good luck, I believe you need it. Okay. So, very interesting kobold. We will talk to him again. It's a shame that we can't invite him to be at our camp. I would love that. Yeah, this is it. Alrighty. So I'd say until next time.
Our path leads on.